I'm MIRA Collins, a financial analyst at TELOS Systems. Quarter end was hours away when we discovered a $3 million shortfall. Our CFO demanded we pull revenue from next quarter and reclassify expenses, skirting the edge of fraud. I refused to stay silent. Watch how I exposed deception, ignited an SEC investigation, and transformed a toxic finance culture. The fluorescent lights in the finance war room cast a harsh glow over the semicircle of monitors. Outside, the city hummed with life, but here it felt like a tomb. Wall clocks ticked mercilessly toward 5 p.m., quarter end close. At the center sat MIRA Collins, 28, her crisp blouse reflecting the monitor's glare. She scanned the Q4 revenue dashboard for TELOS Systems, one of the fastest-growing cloud integration firms on the West Coast. The numbers told a grim story. The quarter's bookings trailed plan by $3 million, and the burn was accelerating. MIRA exhaled softly, her brows furrowed. Gerard, CFO. MIRA, that shortfall. What happened on the West Coast sales? They said the San Diego deal was coming in Q3, not Q4. MIRA clicked through spreadsheets, pulling up raw data. San Diego fell through in October. Legal issues delayed the contract. We've been counting on the Midwest partnership, but it slipped fiscal review. Gerard slammed his palm on the table. We cannot close the quarter at a loss. The board expects at least $45 million. We're at $41.8 million now. Fix it. Meaning? Gerard turned and pointed to the screen, where line items glowed red. We push any pending revenue from early next quarter into right now. Reclassify the Scout Tech licensing fee as a one-time strategic partnership fee, and shift that $1.2 million in marketing expense off the P&L. Mark it as pre-launch capital expenditure. MIRA's heart raced. This was aggressive accounting at best, illicit manipulation at worst. That will distort financials, the auditors, compliance. Gerard's gaze sharpened, cold as steel. Do you want us all looking for jobs tomorrow? Or do I have to find someone else who can make the numbers work? Silence swallowed the room. The threat echoed. MIRA's fingertips trembled as she saved her work. They're not teaching me to forecast. They're teaching me to fudge. She nodded, white-knuckled, overriding her conscience. As Gerard barked more instructions, backdating contracts, accelerating deferred revenue, MIRA obeyed, each keystroke a shiver in her soul. The deadline arrived, 5 p.m. The screens flashed midnight, spreadsheets updated. Miraculously, the gap closed. Good, that did the trick. I'll handle the press release. MIRA stared at the monitor as the red numbers turned green. Pride mingled with dread. Record revenues? Or record deception? Morning sunlight slanted through the lobby's glass atrium. Employees in crisp suits streamed in, buoyed by the prior night's victory. A digital ticker above the reception desk scrolled. TELOS Systems reports, record Q4 revenues. CEO praises finance team's innovative accounting. MIRA's stomach churned. She sipped her latte, lips pursed, feeling naked among the cheerful crowd. A cheerful banner in the cafeteria proclaimed, "Celebrating our record quarter." She forced a smile and strode past. Innovative accounting, code for covering fraud. At 8:30 a.m., she knocked on the frosted glass door of CEO Constance Vale's office. Inside, Constance sat in a sleek white leather chair, reviewing charts on a tablet. A middle-aged man, director of investor relations, sat opposite her. "MIRA, thanks for coming in. Grab a seat." MIRA perched on the white couch. Constance gestured to the tablet. Amazing quarter, revenues at $45.2 million, 14% growth year over year. Our stock spiked 8% after hours. Investors are thrilled. MIRA nodded, forcing enthusiasm. Constance's eyes flicked to her badge. "I want to personally thank you for your work on the numbers. Please let it be known, our finance team pulled out all the stops." MIRA's throat tightened. "Thank you, Miss Vale, but some of us stayed up all night reconciling ledgers." Constance flashed a crisp smile. "That's the spirit. We do what we must. Congratulations." MIRA exhaled as she left, The CEO's praise feeling hollow. This victory is built on a lie. But who will listen? The finance department hummed with pride. Analysts and accountants toasted with coffee mugs, praising Gerard's leadership. Mira took a seat at her workstation, dreading small talk. Colleague A. Did you see the numbers? We pulled in that Cantech deal, early huge move. Yeah, Gerard moved it from next quarter. Colleague A. Smart play. We hit targets, and the CFO gets his bonus. Mira forced a grin, fighting nausea. She excelled at financial models, not deception. During lunch, she joined a table with 3 peers: Malik, senior accountant; Priya, tax specialist; and Elena, FP and A associate. They huddled in a corner booth. Malik: I heard about the Cantech pull, but what about that $800K legal cost? It should be current expense. Elena: Looks like they tagged it as deferred capital investment. That's creative. Mira: Creative? It's fraudulent. If auditors check next quarter, they'll see the mismatch. Priya's eyes widened. We'll get flagged in the 10K. I can already see SEC pen hovering. Mira: But if we speak up, we'll be blacklisted. Gerard doesn't forgive. They sat in uncomfortable silence, the weight of complicity heavy. Malik: My uncle works at an accounting firm. He says these quarter-spinning tactics can bring the house down. Priya: A massive restatement, huge fines, CEOs indicted. Mira: But if we do nothing, we're accessories. How do we protect ourselves? Elena tapped her spoon on the table. Extensive documentation. If we gather evidence, maybe we can blow the whistle safely. Mira's heart raced. They all glared at each other. Fear and determination danced in their eyes. No one wants the truth. But someday this house of cards will collapse. Back on the finance floor, the tension ratcheted. At 2 p.m., Gerard summoned Mira and Malik to his office. The door closed with a whisper. Look, the board expects momentum. Q1 is 2 weeks away. No one wants a repeat shortfall. He tapped his pen on an expense report. I see you questioned the reclassification of that $800K legal cost. That's appreciated, until it became discouraging. Doubts do not help. We need absolute confidence from the team. Gerard: That reclassification is questionable. The legal issue is ongoing. We can't pretend it's a capital expenditure. Gerard's eyes narrowed. Pretend? Call it what you will. The board only sees the bottom line. Reporting true costs won't improve our stock price. We need optics. If you can't support management strategy, I'll find someone who can. Mira's resistance faltered under his stare. Understood. Later, at 4 p.m., Gerard joined CEO Constance Vale and Vanessa Lee, head of investor relations, on a conference call with analysts. Vanessa regaled them with rosy rhetoric. With our record Q4 behind us, we are confident Q1 guidance of $47 million is conservative. We expect robust growth in cloud integration and managed services. Given the seasonality, what gives you that confidence? Constance: We secured several pipeline deals and have engineered our services to expedite revenue recognition. Mira, listening through a live stream, clenched her fist when expedited recognition surfaced code for pulling deals forward. Any risk of pushback from auditors or regulators? Vanessa: Our financials undergo rigorous internal controls. We are fully compliant. Mira's eyes narrowed. They call it innovative. I call it cooked. Mira awoke before dawn, stomach fluttering with dread. She poured coffee and logged into her home system, reviewing the revised Q1 forecast. The enum-coded cells glowed. Expected revenue $47.5 million. Year-over-year growth 10%. She exhaled, wondering how many phantom deals she had to add. At 8 a.m., she entered the lobby, catching her reflection in mirror glass, sleepless eyes, tense jaw. She wore a pale blue blouse, a quiet protest to morning's gloom. She texted Priya, "We need to talk before 9. Priya's reply arrived, "Meet in conference room C." Priya, Malik, and Elena waited. Priya passed Mira an USB drive. "These are auditor memos, red flags on our reclassifications. Also, a recording of Gerard's orders from last night. He told the junior accountants to revise the P&L to hit targets. Mira's heart pounded as she viewed audio files on her laptop. Gerard's voice clear. I want that $1.2 million deferred partners deal posted tonight. No excuses. If you're squeamish, let me know and I'll find a replacement. Mira exhaled, tears brimming. This isn't justification, it's confession. Malik, we can't keep silent. But who do we trust? HR is compromised. Legal would freeze us. The board could be in on it. Elena, we expose them publicly, maybe a news outlet or whistleblower channel. Mira closed her eyes. We need a safe channel. I don't want to go to jail, but I won't live with this guilt. I know someone, a former TELOS accountant, who went to the SEC. She can advise. They formed a pact. Gather every piece of evidence, then decide on a safe mechanism for whistleblowing. The stakes soared. Mira happened upon the engineering all-hands in the auditorium. Developers and product managers cheered the numbers displayed on a huge screen. Q4, revenue $45.2 million. A bullhorn of optimism blasted across the room. Mira felt nauseous. VP Engineering. Thanks to the finance team, we beat guidance. Now let's focus on developing new integration features. A scattering of applause greeted him. Mira slipped out, avoiding gushing applause. She texted Priya, meet in 30. Constance Vale sat behind her minimalist desk. Mira hesitated outside, then knocked softly. Constance's assistant waved her in. Mira, good morning. Have a seat. Mira perched on the leather couch. Constance leaned forward, folding hands. First, congratulations. You've done stellar work. The board wants to explore a VP finance role for you. Mira's heart fluttered. Prestige and promotion dangled before her. But conscience strangled excitement. Thank you, but can I speak candidly? Constance raised a brow. Of course. The Q4 numbers, they're inflated. Rerouting revenue, reclassifying expenses. It's not right. If auditors dig deeper, we could face restatements, fines, even criminal charges. Constance's pleasant expression flickered. I see. Thank you for your honesty. But this is business. Sometimes you need to prioritize optics. If you can't align, perhaps the VP role isn't for you. Mira's blood ran cold. Constance's thinly veiled threat sank in. Loyalty over integrity. You have until 5 p.m. to decide if you accept the promotion. Otherwise, we'll assume you're pursuing other opportunities. Mira exhaled, head pounding. They don't reward truth, they reward survival. But I refuse to become complicit. She left, head held high and heart heavy. That afternoon, Mira typed an email to a pseudonymous whistleblower attorney. Subject: Possible SEC issue at TELOS. Need guidance. I'm a senior financial analyst at TELOS Systems. Our CFO instructed us to recognize revenue prematurely and bury operating costs. Q4 numbers were manipulated. I have recordings and audit memos. Need to report safely. She paused, cursor hovering over send. Her reflection jittered in the window. Beside her, family photos glowed in lamplight. Her parents' wedding, childhood birthdays. If she reported, everything might unravel. Her career, reputation, maybe even personal safety. She exhaled and hit send. Mira arrived at a nondescript cafe downtown. A sign on a corner table read, Anna Wong. Mira slipped into the seat. Miss Collins, I'm Anna Wong, SEC counsel. Your email intrigued me. Mira handed Anna a USB drive. Anna inserted it into a laptop. You have extensive proof. Emails, logs, a recording of Gerard's instructions. Anna reviewed documents in silence. Finally, she closed the laptop. This is substantial, but TELOS is a private company with only $200 million in revenue. The SEC's reach is primarily public companies, but they will investigate if investor harm emerges. TELOS just filed an S-1. They're prepping for IPO. If these misstatements matter, it's even bigger. We have two options. File an anonymous tip to the SEC's whistleblower office, which could trigger a quiet inquiry, or escalate directly to Northrop & Company, TELOS's lead auditor. That may lead to a restatement before the S1. It's faster but riskier. I want to stop them without destroying innocent colleagues' careers. What do you recommend? Anonymous SEC tip first. They can investigate discreetly. If TELOS resists, they'll refer to DOJ or PTC review. Your identity remains protected if you follow proper channels. MIRA nodded, relief mingling with terror. I'm walking into the storm. No safety net now. After dinner, MIRA sat at her home office desk, heart pounding. She uploaded the encrypted documents to the SEC's secure portal, entering a long-coded password. For the whistleblower form, she typed her narrative. My name is MIRA Collins, Senior Financial Analyst at TELOS Systems. I have evidence that the company artificially inflated Q4 revenues by $3.4 million through premature revenue recognition and reclassification of operating expenses as capital expenditures. Attached are auditor memos, email chains with the CFO, GERARD BLYTHE, instructing these changes, and a recorded directive. TELOS is in S1 filing. Investor harm is imminent. I request anonymity and protection. She hit submit, her stomach in knots. Seconds later, a confirmation number flashed. She exhaled, alone in the dark apartment, imagination racing. Auditors, subpoenas, media headlines. One clicks to unleash ruin or redemption. There's no turning back. MIRA arrived at TELOS's finance floor. The mood was buoyant. Another banner proclaimed, Q. One guidance exceeded. Her phone buzzed with a cryptic text. Unknown. Check your inbox. 1800. She opened an email from WDLB at sec.gov. Subject, Receipt of Whistleblower Submission. Confirmation ID, 1800. Your submission has been received. Case will be opened within 72 hours. Please preserve evidence. Do not discuss with anyone. MIRA's pulse thundered. Behind her, she heard a commotion. GERARD had arrived, triumphant. Great job last night, team. We crushed targets. Keep it up for next quarter. Bonus season is near. MIRA forced a neutral expression, her heart muddled. She ducked into a quiet corner as Jonas Keller, lead auditor from Northrop & Company, strolled in. Jonas, a tall man with silvering hair and steely eyes, nodded curtly to MIRA. Jonas, MIRA, need to talk. 10 a.m., my office. She nodded, dread coiling. The auditor knows, the SEC knows. Now I wait for the storm. MIRA entered Jonas Keller's discreet office, walls lined with binders and framed CPA certifications. Jonas gestured to a chair beside a large mahogany desk. MIRA, I received some anonymous tips regarding Q4 adjustments at TELOS. I need you to confirm whether specific reclassifications were legitimate. He slid printed copies of P&L sheets and general ledger entries to her. Those reclassifications weren't legitimate. The $800K legal fees were operating expenses, not capital. The Cantech revenue was pulled forward prematurely. And I have email proof. I already have the emails. My firm got a call from the SEC. We must act quickly. Prepare a detailed memo outlining who issued the instructions, chronologically. This must go in my findings report. You're the only one who can vouch for authenticity. MIRA hesitated, then nodded, grabbing a notepad. I'll prepare it by noon. As MIRA left, her phone buzzed. An email from Simone, HR lead, titled, Urgent, please see me. MIRA's breath caught. She tapped the message. MIRA, please come to HR immediately. Confidential. Fear surged. She texted Priya. No response. She entered HR's office where Simone and Carla stood, expressions grave. MIRA, GERARD has been suspended pending an internal audit. We found your email on a colleague's desk. Someone forwarded it. MIRA closed her eyes as panic rose. Someone found my email? I submitted to SEC with anonymity? SEC referred it to auditors immediately. It's out of our control. They want a full investigation. They're pausing any external PR until we confirm specifics. Simone. You've done the right thing, even if it feels like chaos now. Mira steadied herself with a breath. Chaos is the price of truth, and there's no backtracking now. At 11 a.m., Mira was escorted to Gerard's office. The door swung open to reveal him at his desk, stunned and pale. His usually crisp tie hung askew. You did this? You reported me? Mira met his glare with level calm. I followed the rules. You crossed the line. The SEC now has the evidence. I have nothing to apologize for. Do you understand what you've done? My career is over, and yours will be ruined too. Mira's stomach clenched, but she held firm. I sacrificed my career to protect TELOS and its shareholders. You can decide if you stand with truth, or with that bus you threw me under. She turned and walked away, leaving Gerard to his rage. He thought he could bury me. Now I stand above him, weaponized by my own integrity. The next morning, Mira joined Jonas and the audit team in TELOS's war room. Constance and Linda Park flanked them. Jonas cleared his throat as he slotted a thick binder onto the table. Ladies and gentlemen, my report confirms that Q4 financial statements were materially misstated. We found deliberate revenue acceleration by $2.8 million and $1.2 million of operating expenses inappropriately capitalized. I recommend a restatement of Q4 results and referral to the SEC for potential enforcement actions. Gasps echoed. Constance's face blanched. Linda placed a reassuring hand on Mira's shoulder. Thank you, Miss Collins. Your courage made this possible. Constance. We will cooperate fully. At noon, TELOS Systems issued a press release. TELOS Systems announces restatement of Q4 20XX financial results, confirms cooperation with SEC and auditor review. CEO Constance Vail expresses regret for misstatements and commit to full transparency. The stock plunged 15% within hours. Internet headlines blared. TELOS caught in accounting scandal. Whistleblower exposes CFO's financial chicanery. TELOS restates numbers, faces SEC inquiry. Mira watched from her desk as colleagues whispered in shock. Some scowled at her, others offered furtive smiles of gratitude. The once gleaming banners in the cafeteria were taken down. The castle of lies crumbled in one seismic report. But the ground beneath me remained firm, built on truth. Sarah arrived at an eerily silent finance floor. Most staff huddled at desks, checking media coverage. At 8 a.m., Simone and Carla convened a quick HR stand-up. Gerard Blythe's employment is terminated, effective immediately. He will not return to TELOS. We are cooperating with both the SEC and DOJ. Mira exhaled, relief and sorrow mingling. She wandered to her desk, seeing an envelope with her name, a promotion letter for Director of Financial Integrity. She opened it with trembling hands. TELOS's board recognized her integrity, offering her a leadership role to oversee all finance and compliance. Mira blinked back tears. This was the reward she never expected. The auditorium filled with cautious anticipation. Constance and Linda flashed somber faces on stage. Constance stepped to the lectern. Today, I address you with humility and resolve. We misstepped in Q4. Thanks to Mira Collins's courage, we are correcting our path. Effective immediately, our Q4 results will be restated. Gerard Blythe is no longer with TELOS. We have appointed Mira Collins as Director of Financial Integrity to ensure this never happens again. Let me also introduce the new Code of Ethics, which will be integrated into every process. The crowd rose in applause. Tears and pride reflected in many faces. Mira, standing front row center, felt a wave of vindication. I was under the bus. Now I guide the wheels. Back at her desk, Mira assembled a new team: 2 junior analysts, a compliance officer, and a systems audit specialist. She instituted morning stand-ups to review all revenue recognition, ensuring no edge case slipped. She watched as disbelieving eyes turned to acceptance as ledgers balanced. This new process picks up discrepancies in real time. We caught a mislabeled $500K contract yesterday. Mira's chest warmed. Months ago, she would have choked on that number. Now it meant safety. Transparency fosters trust, but only if we remain vigilant. Constance. We sincerely regret the Q4 misstatement. Our restated numbers reflect $42.4 million, not $45.2 million. We anticipate fines totaling $8 million. We've implemented robust internal controls. All revenue must meet 10 criteria before recognition, real-time auditor dashboards, and mandatory ethics certification for all finance staff. Michaela. We are also instituting quarterly third-party audits to verify compliance. Our goal is complete transparency, restoring investor confidence. Do you expect additional restatements? MIRA. No. We performed a full review. No other material discrepancies. What is the impact on Q1 guidance? MIRA. We anticipate $38.40 million given the corrected baseline. We believe this is conservative and achievable. When the webcast ended, Mara Clarkson from Cardell Capital emailed, "MIRA, your candor is refreshing. Keep this up and TELOS may recover faster than expected." MIRA exhaled, spotting renewed hope. Truth is the bedrock of trust. Once broken, it takes time to rebuild, but we start it today. MIRA joined Carla for the inaugural Ethics in Finance training in the HR training room. 40 employees filed in, developers, sales reps, and fellow finance staff. Carla introduced MIRA. As you know, we faced a critical test last quarter. MIRA Collins not only identified the misconduct, but guided us through reform. Today, she will lead our session on ethical decision-making. MIRA projected slides. Case study Q4. Misstatement. Walkthrough of how the fraud unfolded. Ethical decision framework. Questions to ask before allowing any accounting creativity. Whistleblower channels. How to report anonymously. Participants asked probing questions, some sheepish, some sincere. An intern raised her hand. What if I'm pressured to fudge numbers? Use the anonymous reporting portal. If you do nothing, you're complicit. We protect whistleblowers. Your career and confidentiality are paramount. At the end, employees filed out, nodding appreciatively. If I can't share knowledge, others might not brave the path of honesty. That evening, MIRA joined Carla, Malik, Jenna, Eldrick, junior analyst, and Rosa on the rooftop terrace. Fairy lights blinked overhead. The city glowed below. We no longer have eyes down in our department. People come forward now, fearless. Malik. We discovered a misposted $300K contract today caught by the new system. Jenna. Azure integration is on track. No compliance hiccups. MIRA gazed at them, pride swelling E. I could face the bus or drive the bus for others. Tonight, we're driving the bus together, toward a future where integrity steers every decision. They raised sparkling cider bottles. Everyone, to integrity! As they laughed, MIRA felt the weight lift from her shoulders. She had turned betrayal into transformation. The bus still existed, but now she was firmly in control, ensuring no one else would be crushed beneath its wheels.